Hey, friends. Hey, family. Welcome on back to Transcending Love with me, Nettie. If you are new, hello and welcome. If you are not new, hello and welcome. To the newbies, stay a little while. I'm glad to have you here, and I am Nettie. I channel messages by way of spirit in whatever capacity they come through. There are no limits. There are some things that happen sporadically. Sometimes I'll pull some tarot cards. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I just allow spirit to guide without the cards. That's mostly what I do. Anyway, the objective is to assist us in the learning of self, the growth and access of our most sacred and highest version of ourselves. So if that's something that you can get down with, that's something that aligns with what you are looking for, then here we are and here we go. If it's not, then go on and get you another message that best fits your style. Also, I do cuss, and sporadically scripture comes out, although I'm not a religious person. So there's that. Whatever instruments and tools spirit wants to use at the time is the ones that I lend myself to, as you should. Anyway, how y'all doing? Hopefully everybody is doing great. I'm in a little bit of a new predicament at the moment. I'm still getting this here room together, but this is my general setup for this space for the time. Y'all see, I got some tarot cards back there and some bowls and a tripod. But yeah, so I wanted to tap in and just speak about a number of the messages that I have been receiving. And some really prominent messages have been coming through. And they are dealing with transformation. And it's not for nothing. In one of the last videos I posted it a little bit late, but I had recorded it on the first, which was the first quarter moon on the first of the month, which was pretty significant to the time. You know, so interesting. I want you to pay more attention to what you feel and what you are being led to do. We always talk about this, but there's always still more. And for the amount of time that we are human, it'll be that measure and amount of times that we'll need the reminder. Not always, but always. So sometimes spirit is telling you to do some stuff, and sometimes you don't really know exactly. We talked about clear and unclear messages also in one of the last videos. And it seems clear to me at this point that everything was leading up to this, because I have been receiving some messages that, for whatever reason, I didn't perceive them with the measure of certainty that it was spirit, that I have some other messages, and that is the human aspect of life. You won't always perceive it as exactly what it is 100% of the time. That's fine. The more we get in tune to all of the different ways that spirit speaks to us as individuals, you have your own special ways. They are not necessarily the same as other people's. So keep that in mind. And spirit is not limited on how you can be delivered a message. So just keep that in your mind. The more you get in tune, the more you'll realize that you are more often receiving messages from spirit than you are not. So a part of what's been taking place with me is that my gifts have been expanding. So it's taken some adjustments, even for me, to recognize some of the things depending on what's going on, I'll say. So sometimes you'll receive a message and it will be clear, like it'll be clear, but you will not be, it'll seem like it's just your, like a random thought, right? So Spirit has been dealing with me for quite some time, but even more so in the more recent days about sun, and just exposing me to more messages and more revelation about the power that is within the sun, that the sun holds, and how it transforms us as individuals. We've talked about before, and Spirit guided in a message about paying attention to the signs in nature, which also seems very clearly a lead up to even this. We are one with all things. So you have to know that you are affected and impacted by the planetary alignments and the sun. Okay? So these different alignments, they are shifting the energy a lot of times. And much of what you feel, depending on the placement of certain planets, the moon, you will feel, and their placements within your birth chart, you will feel all the things that measure up to what that planet is representative of within that particular segment of your chart, whatever house it rules. Just it goes into depth. I'm not here to speak in major depth about astrology, but Spirit wants you to know that that is another tool that is used to communicate to you in fullness, so that you understand more about who you are in this physical form. It helps you to understand your makeup. It is another navigation tool. Use all of your navigation tools, even human design. And you'll see and find that much of the human design components align with what is already in your birth chart. So you get an opportunity, find that birth certificate, figure out what time you were born, and pull your natal chart or birth chart. That's the same thing. And learn some more about yourself. It'll blow your mind. It takes time. It is really, Spirit said, life science. Your life science is what Spirit is calling it. And like any other science, it takes a little bit of time. It takes effort and energy to actually seek out and put those pieces together. But the more you do it, the more you hear about it, read about it, and see it, the more things begin to align and make more sense to you. And then you're like, oh, snap, that is characteristic of me. That's why I be doing that. That's what that is. Okay. And all of these different things have influence on you, whether you know it or not, believe it or not. But I say give it a chance. If you are reluctant, try it for yourself and just give it some time. Show it some bit of attention, right? It goes so much deeper, but that is one of the reasons why Spirit wants you to be cognizant and aware and considerate of the signs of nature, because all of these things are used to get messages to you. And like we were talking about the sun is nourishment to you. And maybe somebody else is the same way, but I have been asking Spirit for a little while about why I seem to crave the sun. And it sounds like, oh, nobody craves the sun. Like I literally crave the sun some days. And I just bask in it, and I just love to feel it on my skin. And it feels like the warmest hug, the warmest embracing like the warmest measure of intimacy to me. It is nourishment and health to my soul. It feels like like literally every single day when I'm at work, when it's not real hot And when it's not cold, I am outside sitting on the ground in the sun. I'm infamous for it. I take my shoes off, all that. Them folks be looking at me like, child, you just gonna make yourself at home. And is. Because I'm at home in the sun. But it does something. So I did a little bit more digging, and not only, not even just the vitamin D aspect, like it alters and changes your DNA in some ways. It helps your digestion. Sun has all kinds of nutrients, but you have to start to dig into more ancestral nutrition to figure what those things actually are. Yes. So, one of the things that Spirit is saying in that is make sure that you are getting outside. You need sun. This is not a message that is just for me, but you also need sun. It's been coming up more prevalent in this last week, especially for those of you who are having digestive issues, to the degree that Spirit has said to, if you are going to be outside, you need to let the sun shine on your stomach if you have digestive issues. Get some sun on your stomach. You're going to have to, let it all hang out. That don't necessarily mean you got to be out and about running errands unless, if you confident enough to do that and you feel safe enough to do that, do it. Get that sun. But the directive for some, and this is not everybody. The directive for some is just laying out, even on the ground, in some capacity, whether it be in the park or wherever, on the beach, but get some sun on your stomach. That's going to help your digestive issues that you've been having. Do it as often as you possibly can. Listen, I told you the messages don't always seem like they make sense, but don't use your human logical mind to try to understand spiritual concepts. It's never going to work. So, follow the directive. Just follow the directive. Also, Spirit is wanting me to shine a bit of light on what we currently have going on in our solar system to a degree. So, right now, or coming up, we have this weekend on the 7th, we have both, it's called a full moon lunar eclipse. So it's a full eclipse, and it'll be visible on the 7th around 2 p.m. And it'll be at its highest peak at 2 p.m. But it will not be visible from I was going to say from North America. It is more easily seen on the other side of the pond, Europe. I want to say Asia. I want to say India. That whole region will be able to see it. We will not, but it will be there, and the energy is already here. If you can track back to some of the other messages for a little while now, we've been on this wave, we've been in this frequency, in this energy. Spirit has been talking about transformation and change and getting your value system together. That's one of the main messages. It is in Pisces, and that's about getting your value system together, right? Transformation, but in love too, and compassion. So many of you may have felt like extremely loving and just endeavoring to be better in love at this point. And this is not just speaking about romantic relationships. This time also speaks to like reconciliation of familial like hardships and that measure of relationship. But all love components are affected by this shift. So you might find too that you have a desire to be more loving, and you're seeking out those ways. Spirit is giving you those ways to be more loving, in platonic and romantic relationships, as well as familial. So there's that. If you're feeling more compassionate, that's that Pisces full moon. It's also considered, the full moon is considered a blood moon this time around, or harvest moon. It depends on what source you get it from, because they're named by several different people, different tribes, and you know, just a number of different people. So depending on how you view it and look it up is what name you'll get for it. But it'll be red, so you'll see why many call it the blood moon. So anyway, there's that, and then again in this month we have another eclipse. It's not very often we have two eclipses in the same month. So on the 21st, there will be another eclipse, and that one is coupled with the new moon. So, and that one is in Virgo. So, with that, you have a cementing of the transformation, and we'll save the rest of it till we get a little bit closer. That way, I can fill out more of the energy and express it when that time comes. I'm excited about that. Such a journey and adventure for me. I'm really excited. But um, Pluto is also out of bounds. And because Pluto is out of bounds now, if you know anything about Pluto, Pluto is a rebel and intense overall, right? Pluto is not only out of bounds, it is in retrograde in Aquarius. It has been in retrograde in Aquarius since November, shortly after the election. And Aquarius is typical humanitarian, of the zodiac, and that Pluto is representing is very characteristic, upheaval, uprooting from the core, from depths, from inside. Aquarius is very introspective, so the up like it's a literal uprooting of some systems and some dynamics and some things that don't really work out so well for the humans. It also affects technology and communication, that kind of thing as well, where changes in this measure of transformation are concerned. So there's that. Just for a bit of fun research, look up the number of things, the kinds of things that have taken place during um, a Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. That should be fun. But also, um, Pluto is just intensifying everything. So that love component, that compassion component, the protective nature of Aquarius, the introspection and desire for freedom and change of Aquarius, it is magnifying all of those different things that you may be feeling. Even that detox component, that is a part of the uprooting that is represented in all of this, these different alignments. So when Spirit was telling you to detox and cleanse yourself of parasitic energies, that. So just bear those things in mind as we go forward. Also, just be paying attention. Just pay attention to world events, because some things are going to change. They are going to change because that is just what happens. That is the nature of Aquarius and Pluto. in Aquarius intensifies and magnifies that whole situation. So just be paying attention to world events because some things will be changing. And you can feel a lot of the shift if you pay close attention. You may not be able to fully describe it or fill out 100% what it is that you feel. And when I say fill out, I mean just really articulate or, be able to put words to it. But you'll know that you feel a little bit of something. And really you just guide it in that way. Like before I realized what was taking place, I was being told about getting more sun, going out more, and just making sure the sun sees my skin. I needed that nourishment. And I believe I'm nourishing the sun back. Hello. We have a mutually symbiotic relationship. I give you sun and you give me sun back. All right. But yeah. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. And just pay attention to these world systems, this leadership situation. Also, oh, thank you, Spirit. So early on in the year, before I started paying a whole lot of attention to this Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, I was wondering, well, yeah, I was kind of wondering, but more so, Spirit had given me a download about how we ended up with the current president. And we have been, everything happens for your good. Every single thing. And collectively, we've all been asking for change. We've all been asking for more and just transformation. And the more you desire change, the more you desire transformation, you get them. And just like I told you all before, and a number of other messages, it don't always come the way you expect it to or the way you want it to. Sometimes you are presented with the opposite thing than you would hope for, because that is the actual thing that will propel you to move more toward what it is you say you want. You want more money, you want to be more wealthy, then you get somebody in there and they seem to be doing all the things that are opposite of what you figure will get you there. But that's not really the case. They're doing the exact thing that they are in position, in alignment to do, so that they can help you align with whatever your desired outcome is. Because that's going to put fire under your ass to get started making something for yourself, to create wealth for yourself. Yeah, that ain't the way we would have planned it. But it's the way that it is. So go on and get started. But also, Spirit is not saying to rush. Spirit is not saying to rush. Do the necessary things that need to be done. Spirit will guide you. Allow Spirit to guide you. Also, this is a very intuitive full moon, which is why you felt everything internally so intensely. Pisces is very intuitive as well. So yeah. Anyway, I just thought that I would get on and share that part of the messages that Spirit has been giving me. And hopefully that made some bit of sense, or at least got you thinking about some extra stuff. But be paying attention to these world events going forward, because Pluto is in retrograde in Aquarius for the next 2 decades. Shit's about to get real. But it'll be for the human good. Yeah. I'll leave you this message in love and in light, because I think that that's all that I have. Spirit, what you got? You got some more? I think that's it. Anyway, I'll leave you this message in love and in light. Only and always take this message with you if you feel it. Feel it out. Try the spirit by the spirit. And until next time, holla.